Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and Friends.
Sandy Kastel and Friends, produced by Michael Leonetti. Sandy Kastel has been entertaining audiences for years on stage, screen, radio, and television. And for the next 60 minutes, she'll be talking with local and international performers, artists, authors, celebrities, and more, with special features like women in music and arts, shopping at Smith's, cooking with Chef Michael, and staying fit and fabulous forever. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is Sandy Kastel.
Good morning, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Hi, Chef Michael.
Yeah.
So, we've got a full house today. We have the Vegas Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips. Hi, guys.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
You guys have some hidden unwrapped treasures for us?
We have double secret probation, hidden unwrapped treasures.
You notice it started out as one thing. Now it's gotten deeper and deeper. It's buried deeper, you know. And also we have, yes, Michael? No. And also we have a surprise guest.
Who's the surprise?
Guess who it is?
Who is it?
He's a drummer.
No, get
oh my
out.
gosh.
Jay Kruper.
Crooper.
It's Krupa.
Well, in Michael's terms, it's always, forget it, your name's going to be changed now forever.
Okay.
It's Danny Seraphine. Now, did I say it right?
You did.
Oh my gosh, I did it.
Wait, don't laugh.
Danny, you should be able to say Danny, okay, without adding an extra.
Are you Italian, Dan?
I'm Italiano.
What paese are you? Napolitan, Calabrese, what?
Napolitan and Bruzzese.
Sandy's Bruzzese, Calabrese, but mostly mayonnaise.
Is he Calabrese?
No. He's teasing you.
I got to tell you,
mayonnaise.
Sandy, I got up.
Medigan.
I parked the car this morning. I get out, and sure enough, I never met Danny before. I didn't know who the kid was, so I'm walking by, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He says, "There's an elevator here." And I go,
an elevator?
Yeah, all the way down the end, I said, "That these steps will kill you." I said, I got a bad knee myself. So anyways, now he walks up the steps and he's walking the opposite way. He says, "Kid." "What do you mean, kid?" I said, "You're just a kid next to me." I said, "I'm 62. He says, "I got you beat." He says, "I'm 63.
Oh my gosh, you guys are both
66.
kids.
66.
66.
So anyway,
oh my gosh.
we walk up the steps. Now remember, everybody in Radio Land, that we have 90,000 listeners.
Only 90,000? I thought it was 91 and a half.
These friggin' people have nothing better to do but to turn on the radio and listen to me. Danny says, he gets up, and I says, "Well, young fella, you take care of yourself." I said, "Who are you?" And he turns around and says, "I'm nobody." All right?
I'm nobody till somebody loves me.
Oh,
I'm waiting for that.
So anyway, he says, "I'm nobody," and the guy, he says, "I'm just a drummer." Now, the minute he said he was a drummer, then I knew that he was on the show. So he's walking away. I says, "Where you going?" He says, "A radio station." I said, "Well, pal, you better turn around, come back this way, because you're on our radio show."
I was going the wrong way.
You were.
He saved me.
You were walking all the way down to the end of the building, right? Because that's the only place where the elevator is here. And the steps are just right there in the front, yeah.
You know, Jolé's listening, as you know.
Jolé.
I talked to him this morning, and he was so happy. He can't wait to come to Sunday. He says, "I don't eat all week." So
we
his
have
wife
Sunday
has
dinner.
Yes, at
Sunday
the house.
Dinner at
so
the
his
house.
wife has to starve.
Italian style.
The poor girl has to starve, and the only time he eats is just Sunday. And you know what I mean? And he gives her like crackers and stuff like that. But you know, that's what he does.
No. She cooks.
Perko is the best.
Perko, oh my gosh, she's an amazing chef. I mean, she's amazing baker. Yes.
She's like a chef.
Yeah.
731.
He's getting the tennis head here.
That's all right, buddy. 731.
I'm sure that I'm part of the club here.
Oh! How do you like that?
That's too funny.
It's okay.
731-1230. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a very big celebrity in the house. One of the...
Who?
You. Oh. Great drummers. Phenomenal. It's always nice. You know, it's always a pleasure to see a fellow musician, a fellow giant, such as this guy, and a humble guy. And it's nice that he's Italian on top of it. Which doesn't make any difference.
That's the best part of me.
Maybe we should ask him what his favorite Italian recipe is, and then you can.
Well,
you guys can.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You said you're 60 what?
66.
66.
Right.
Your mother was a great cook, I'm sure.
My grandmother, my mother, my aunts, all of them.
Give me what, if you could take, your grandmother still with us, or she passed?
Oh, a long time ago.
All right.
Yeah,
you remember her cooking?
Oh, God. No.
Give me one thing that you remember that your grandmother made you?
Well, I'll give you a few things.
Okay.
Christmas Day, for Christmas she would make homemade ravioli. She'd stay up all night, and the chicken Vesuvio, meatballs that people die for these days, you know.
Yeah.
So we grew up on that, right? And then New Year's Eve she made deep dish pizza. The first deep dish pizza I ever had with fresh, especially the sausage, the real sausage, the green peppers, the onions, and it was so good. I mean, it was just like, so those days around the holidays were just magnificent.
Now, wasn't there a fish day too? What's the fish day? Is that
Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve.
Now, how do I know that?
Fridays was fish day.
But Fridays always is a fish day. But then wasn't for the holidays, I think there was a big... You guys talk about this dried fish. I don't even know.
Bacala. That's what they say. Danuts, you're going to get bacala. When I was being bad. Danuts, you're going to get bacala.
Bacala.
And then she'd look at me, and I was a baby, and she'd say, you want some ninnies? Danuts, you want some? And I'd start crying. You know, she was crazy. She had so much. My mom and my grandmother were so animated. It was ridiculous, you know.
Well, Aren't all Italians?
Christmas Eve is called Alfagio in Italian. It was all fish. It was no meat. It was no meat. It was all fish, you know. But you know, and because that was our Christmas day, is really Christmas Eve for the Italians. That was the big, and it was galamad, and we had scungil, and we had the bacala. Now the bacala is a dry fish.
Yeah, bacala.
It's cod. You have to, Sandy. You have to leave it soak in water, and for 2 days. I'm not kidding you. And you keep dumping it out. You got to keep, because it's salted. My mother was the worst cook in the world. She could clean a house. My mother's house looked like a model home, but my mother could not cook. She made bacala one time. She took it home.
I didn't like bacala. Bacala.
I love it.
That's what they say. You want bacala, Danny? You want bacala? When I was running with gangs and stuff. You know? You're gonna get bacala. But when I still say that to my kids, they think it's a spanking.
Well, that's pagliata, right? A pagliata is spanking. So anyway, my mother gets the dry. It's cod, you know, and it's just dry fish. And she gets it and she cuts it up, and my mother breads it.
But you're supposed to soak it, right? She forgot to soak it. My
father, God rest his soul. My mother's name was Dolores. He bit into it. What the hell you do? He sounds just like Mr. Magoo. My father was. But that's the way it was.
So what was your favorite? What's your favorite dish?
Lasagna was when I was growing up. Lasagna was the only thing I'd really eat, and because I was so skinny, so they made lasagna for me a couple times a month. You know, homemade lasagna.
Do you know something, Dan?
Well, back then they made the pasta.
They made the homemade dough.
It was just
That's the only thing. Believe it or not, I swear to you, and Sandy will tell you, she's the love of my life. This kid. I don't like it. I don't order it in the store, but yet I love ravioli.
Oh, I love ravioli too.
Ravioli and gnocchis, the gavadilis, I love them. They sink like torpedoes.
I think gavadili. I like gavadili. They're a little smaller than the gnocchis, you know.
Well, the gnocchis, that's made with potato.
Yeah.
The other one's just the dough.
Yeah.
And they got it. But I got to tell you that for me, ravioli, I took a Chinese girl home for dinner once from my school. And my mother, she's so wonderful. She stuck a message in a ravioli. Like, Yankee go home or something. I forgot what she said. I said, oh, what? It was all soggy and stuff.
Didn't say made in China? No? Okay.
Well, listen. Okay, so Danny, what brought you to Las Vegas this time?
I'm doing a guest appearance with Dave Perico and the Pop Evolution band.
Pop Evolution.
20-piece band.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's going to be...
Is it strings and everything?
I think so.
It must be with 20 pieces.
Yeah, with 20 pieces it better be, right?
Better be,
or go-go dancers. Yeah. Is there go-go dancers?
They're all dead.
They don't have go-go clubs anymore?
Yeah, you know
what about in Vegas?
Where have you been?
I've been hiding out.
Well, what's cool about the Pop Evolution is that what he does is he has some standards that they do, but they do them like with guitar, with a heavy guitar and stuff. Sound a little bit like who's that guy? Setzer. You know how he takes the big band, Brian Setzer. He takes that, but it's even still different than that. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of Chicago songs. Yeah. And
Chicago. Oh, that's Chicago?
Yes.
Chicago?
No.
Well, it started in Chicago.
But also, no, the other Chicago.
The band, yes.
The band, yes. Yeah, we grew up listening to, huh?
They're there tonight, too?
Well, part of them are.
I am.
He is. They're going to do a tribute to Chicago.
But you know something?
But it's not the Chicago big band like we think of. It's the Chicago that we grew up with, you know.
Chicago
that
was,
I love
well, that was the brass.
Yeah.
But even for me,
it was,
as a kid.
And the drums, too.
At the age, because you had Emerson, you had Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Please remind them of that.
That's the foundation. What happened? You know, he's a drummer, too.
Remind them of that.
Yeah, I know. The drums are the foundation, you know, of every single band. You know, you have to have a great rhythm section before you can add the horns on it. Otherwise, it's going to fall apart.
But my day, was Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Chicago, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I loved all the music, but I still, because of kind of my grandfather, he buried me into the 40s. Until this day, he would come home and he would take Earl Bostic. He would show me, he'd make me listen to records by Earl Bostic. And
did you listen to those records too?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite drummers that you listened to?
Gene Krupa is my first drum hero, so I kind of learned to play on his soundtrack of his story, the Gene Krupa story. That's how I learned.
Sal Mineo played him. You know, they whacked that kid, you know that.
Did they whack him?
Yeah, Sal Mineo got whacked.
Why?
Owed a lot of money, just like Alfalfa. They did the same thing. It was a bio on him. They killed him too.
It's too bad.
Because of money. They had. Anyway, I'm getting off the beaten path.
Yeah, a little. But we're used to it. We're used to it. So how did you? So tell us about how. I mean, because I don't know. I mean, how did it all start out for you as a drummer? I mean, did you just start playing on pots and pans when you were a kid?
Totally.
Did you drive your parents crazy? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I drove them crazy, and then my mom got me some drum lessons, and because it was I was not just noise. She could hear that I had
the talent.
And then the lessons kind of started to prove that I was right. And then they got me a snare drum and a kick drum, bass drum, and a hi hat, and then it just grew.
Oh, so they added one at a time. Yeah.
Well,
kind of because
I started out. My first set was a snare drum and a bass drum, Slingerland with his ride cymbal, and hi hat, and I still have pictures of that with a sunburst, go Slingerland kid, because Slingerland and Ludwig were made in Chicago. They were Chicago, and so
I got a Ludwig set.
Ludwig, the beautiful. Those drums are beautiful. I mean, they really. So I wanted to when I made it with Chicago, which was my first the first two Chicago albums were on Rogers, which were great drums, American drum companies.
The Roger high rim, I hated because the rim was high.
You didn't like that?
I hated the high rim.
I liked it.
Did you?
Yeah. Anyways, so once the band made it, I went to Slingerland to them, and I said, I'd like to play your drums, and they said, okay, kid. They didn't realize that the band was getting bigger.
Yeah.
And they just then Buddy Rich said, the reason I wanted to play it because that's where it was Gene Krupa's company, right? Yeah. And I remember the Slingerland on the. Am I running out of? Okay. Anyways.
Don't even worry about that. Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was. Yeah. He's not flipping me off?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
So.
I'll be the one to cut you off.
They kind of treated me like, okay, thanks, you do that. I'll follow you. They were a nice kid. We'll give you a set of drums. And, and then they came. Then one day they came
to the show.
They came to the show at Soldiers Field, and there was 125,000 people. And they went. Then they started treating me like a god, which I don't give a crap about that.
Yeah.
But I always loved Slingerland.
We're musicians, we do what we do because we love it.
Well,
whether we get paid for it or not, we love it, right?
Absolutely.
Right, and then when you get paid for it, it's like this big bonus.
We went to Guitar Center, and they had a couple sets they had some nice sets of drums, and there was a white pearl set, Gretsch, and it really looked nice. But for me, as much as I would love to buy another set, my grandfather, he was the one that bought me that. I had these drums through my whole career. So to buy another set now, you know what I mean? They would just collect dust.
Do you still have your original set?
No.
I
wish I did. I was so. I gave the one set that you see most of my old pictures on. I gave it to Peter Sotero's younger brother, and we're still friends. And because I've been kind of. Does anybody know where my old drums are? And he said to me, "I hate to tell you." He said, "You gave them to me, and I trashed them."
Oh no!
And he said,
no!
And then I sold what was left. So
Oh man! Well, if you're just tuning in now, you're listening listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. Yeah, get that camera over here. Look at that. John, you were way over there. I can't believe it. Anyway, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got the Vegas Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips, and also the special, very special drummer, Danny Seraphin. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
We're going to do a drum battle, me and Danny.
This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, the Vegas Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips. Hi, Ricky. You're smiling so much today.
I have a question for Danny.
You look so happy.
I am.
Like you've got a little secret that you want to share with us. And
He's a transvestite.
I have a question for Danny, all right?
Okay.
What's the
Danny Seraphin here with us.
What's the significance of 25624?
Well, I didn't write the song, so I don't know if I feel right. But it was about the time of when the song was written, 25 or 6 to 4.
Right.
Really brilliant. Robert Lamb wrote that. It's I got to give him all the credit. He deserves all the credit for that.
Because for years,
I play drums on it.
For years we debated what that was, because it was one of Chicago's best songs, and nobody understood what it was for.
I think that's what's the beauty of it. It could be a few different things. It sounds like it's about drugs, but it's really not. Although he might have been doing drugs. There's a good
thanks for that.
There's a good chance he was doing drugs, and that era, we all were.
So you do a lot of clinics around the country.
Yes.
And as we were just talking on the break, and you said you wrote an autobiography, and you wrote that pretty young in your career.
It just came out in 2010. So I don't know.
All right, well, that's still young in your career.
Yeah.
You got a few more years, don't you?
I like her.
All right, and so why did you decide to do that then?
I wanted to get my side of the story.
Okay.
Before they rewrote it and wiped me out of the history. It's not real good between my ex-band and me, unfortunately.
Okay.
Now I get along really well with Peter Cetera and Terry Kath. We're good friends.
So when you did that, when you did the autobiography and you went out on the book tour, then that's when you also did the clinics at the same time, and you said you did that exclusively with Guitar Center.
That particular run was, it was a book signing tour, but I do clinics with Sam Ash, or I do them for universities and wherever people want me to.
So when you do those clinics, what is the number one question that you're asked?
That's one of them. It's so diverse. What's your favorite song? How did you record this song? How did you record that song? And 25 or 64 is unique because I did two separate drum parts, and no one he only can hear it if you put headphones on. But I did it, and nobody had really done that up to that point. It was pretty.
That was pretty new.
Yeah, it was pretty new, innovative. Yeah. And
Danny, do you read?
Somewhat. I'm not a great reader.
Can't read at all.
I read, but I'm dyslexic, so I always want to try to go this way with it. It's not. So I'm
he's
not a great.
left-handed, so he goes that way too.
That makes sense.
My teacher was James LaPenna. His name was Jimmy LaPenna.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. And I was 10 years old when I went pro.
Yeah.
Started at the age of 4. And I went into the class, and I picked up the sticks, and he says, "Let me see what you got." And I start playing. He said, "Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're playing?" I says, "No." He said, "Well, there's 26 rudiments." He says, "You're doing flam taps, paradiddles, double rhythmic." I didn't have a clue. For 5 years, I went twice for classes. And that's all I did, was me and him going back and forth with all those rudiments.
Right.
But till this very day, I cannot read one single note.
Well, Buddy didn't read either. Buddy Rich didn't read.
He didn't read? I didn't know he didn't read. Really?
I mean, really, I can read, but if you don't read a lot, you lose it. It's something you have to do once a week, twice a week, and I'm basically lazy. And if you don't do it, honestly, and I don't do it that often, but it helps to read. But
a lot of rock bands and a lot of those bands, they didn't. They listened and they just played. What they felt,
our late guitarist Terry Kath didn't read really per se. Peter Cetera. I mean, they can read chord charts, but he doesn't read.
Who's on bass?
Peter Cetera.
Oh, Petey?
Yeah.
That's the key with a drummer, man. You got to have a bass player to lay it down.
He's a great. When you talk about rhythm sections, it was Terry Kath, myself, Peter, and Robert Lamb. It was a great rhythm section.
Yeah, but when you're doing the big band stuff, I mean, you have to kind of read
the bass. You got.
Well, there's a guy that's in town.
Well, Buddy didn't read them.
Unless he was the basis of the group, so I guess he could do. But
no, Buddy would bring a guy in that did read, and he'd learn, and he'd watch him a couple times through, and that was it. Boom. And then, of course, he played it 10 times better than.
What I did with Sync when I went down to rehearsal, I made him.
Yeah,
I listened to the chart one time. Right. I said I got it, just to know where it was at. There's a kid in town who is the best, if not in the world. He's one of the best in the world, and that's Bobby Sachs.
Oh, bass player.
Bass player.
Well,
he's like Carson Smith. I mean, no,
he's really good. Yeah,
he's one of the unknown guys.
No, I don't know.
No, he's local. Local guy, but he's really good.
Reading wise, I mean, nobody.
Oh, there's some wonderful musicians.
Is like this guy here who is the best.
Did you know Bobby Rosario? Piano player?
I know, yes.
You know Bobby?
Yeah.
We lost him. Yeah.
Oh, I played with him. I was on that one show, maybe your competitor, or it was at the South Point.
Dennis Bono.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened is
that was Bobby Rosario,
yeah, that
wasn't
was Bobby Rosario. And Bobby was the bass player.
Yeah.
Bobby Sachs was the bass player in that band.
Well, then
so you met him.
I met him. I played with him.
Yeah, you played with him.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Is he great?
Yeah.
What a pocket.
Yeah,
What a pocket.
And so Bobby Rosario, they're on my album too. We did a trio thing, where they're doing some stuff, and of course my dad, because he plays sax. But Bobby and my dad went way back, because they've known each other for 50 years and stuff. But we lost Bobby, last year.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, he was a wonderful man, and it was just great talking to him.
So sweet.
I'm sorry we're rambling on here, but that's okay.
No, that's what we're here about.
Rambling road.
I have a question. Okay. I have a question. Why don't they call you Drummer Mike instead of Chef Mike?
Because now they call him Chef Mike, the musician.
Why?
In Las Vegas.
Because he cooks too.
In Las Vegas, I was a chef.
So he does all the cooking.
Oh yeah. Well, I cook too.
Okay. So no, she does. Sandy cooks she cooks better than I do.
Yeah.
But I had a couple restaurants in Vegas, and years ago when I was in Vegas, in the early '70s, I worked at the Tower of Pizza.
Okay.
I was owned by the guys.
I was owned by the guys.
Oh, the boys. I'm sorry.
But I cook like your grandmother. I'm the last of the
peasant dishes.
The real type of
which
of
we don't
cooking.
get in the restaurants.
No.
We don't get those.
Sandy and I opened a supper club, but the entertainment career I did, and then what I done is I hung my gloves up. The last major show I did outside of what I'm doing now was the Riviera, 1991 in the Dunes. Then I went into business, car business, magazine business, and made a fortune, and did very well, and look back at my career when I was young and handsome with a head full of hair. Meeting Sandy, I
drug him out
back. Back into the arena again,
because
as a gladiator,
I said, look, this is it's in here, it's in your heart. When you're a musician, chef, whatever, when he cooks, he's like in this other world, and that's it. And everybody just loves his food. So yes, he's Chef Michael, but he's also this amazing drummer, and also
drummer and lover, huh?
And I didn't say that.
Oh, well, I was just reading your mind.
I'm not supposed to say
he's
that.
He's Italian.
Of course
he's
I'm
a drummer.
To say that, and lover. Okay. I have to put. What we have to say that on the air? Oh my gosh. Anyway,
what is this, Vegas?
But the point is that I said you need to be doing this because this is what you love. This is who you are, And when we're not doing what we love, a part of us is like if we set that on the side, because a lot of people do that. They go through life. They get married. They have kids. They put what they love on the side. If they don't get lucky and have a career like you've had in it, okay.
I stopped for 15 years.
You did?
After Chicago fired me, I stopped for 15 years.
You did. See.
Yeah.
So here's
25
for me.
Yeah.
And then you got back into it.
Oh yeah, I got back into it.
And what was different in that 15 years? There was a part of you that was missing, right?
But Dan, I got to tell you something. All jokes aside,
yeah,
it's amazing and how God blessed. Because it's like I used to be a pro fighter years ago. I was good. I was a hard hitter. And what happened is that when I got back in, you say to yourself, because playing the way I play, you got to be in shape. What you did when you're 20 is a little bit different when you're 60. And I picked up them drumsticks. It's just like I never put them down. When you're gifted like that, and I listen to you, and you got that same talent.
When you came back, so what you did? So when you came back, how was it? I mean,
well, I replaced my fastball with a wicked slider. That's what I did. Whatever I lost in speed, I made up with other taste, finesse. So.
When you lost in speed?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I lost a little bit of that speed, but I replaced it with being smarter, playing better time. I'm a better drummer today than I was.
I have no speed at all.
Do we have something we can play? Ryan? All right, come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Wow.
That was when I was a young man. That's a long time ago.
How does it feel to listen back when you listen to your own self on the tracks?
I think I sounded really sloppy. There's some really good moments, but
you hear the things that we don't hear.
Drum solos, even my own, it always sounds like a bunch of pots and pans falling out of a closet.
I try not to make it sound like that, to be honest with you.
That was amazing. So okay. So what would you give advice to someone just starting out as a drummer? What would be the number one thing?
Well, take drugs.
Don't take drugs.
Well, don't take drugs for sure.
It slows you down.
Learn as much as you can about music, all forms of music, and try. I would really highly advise to learn another instrument like a piano, so you can write, compose.
Yeah.
Don't stop being a great drummer and making that your passion, but learn another melodic instrument so you can kind of control because I've made a lot of money writing songs, but as a lyricist, and have a second job.
And have a second job.
and a third for the time until you make it. And do it.
For me, Dan, it was rolling meatballs and playing drums.
Yeah. And, just be ready for a long ride, and don't do it to be a pop star, because you're going to be very slowly disappointed. Do it for the love of music, and that will get you through the hard times, and eventually you'll make your own luck.
There you go. That was Danny Seraphin, and he's going to be right back. And we're going to be right back after a message from our sponsors. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, Aaron Phillips, and Ricky Cash, and Danny Seraphin. We'll see you
coming back with the big boys. Yeah, baby, you dirty red son of a motherless son.
Yeah. Now they're going to talk.
Oh, good.
And welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, who just left the house. Oh my gosh, where'd he go?
Elvis has left the building.
I see. Anyway, we've got the Vegas Unwrapped team. Yes, of course. And they have some hidden secret, silent, really deeply buried treasures for us that they are going to reveal. Here they are, Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips. Oh, and here comes the music. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's had a good week since we last convened here.
Yeah, it was good.
Good week. Yep. Good time Sunday night. 7th Annual Golden Hand Service Awards. Tomorrow night, October 23rd from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino, Arizona Ballroom down on West Flamingo. Now, this is an award that's honoring quite a few people around town, from schools, banks, you name it. They're just the Southern Nevada Adult Mental Health Services, etc. Caesars Entertainment is sponsoring tickets for $60 in advance, $70 at the door, or $600 for a table. Tickets can be purchased online at cdfnv.org/Golden Hand, or you can take care of your tickets at the door.
Sounds pretty good.
I love honoring people.
You know, Thursday night, just before our show, Aaron,
yes,
is Beers with Beers.
Yes.
Now, you have to be 21, and it's going to be on Thursday, October 23rd from 5:30 to 7:30, and that's at Steiner's Nevada Pub. And that's over on Buffalo, 1750 North Buffalo. Come share a beverage with Councilman Beers and take advantage of this opportunity to discuss the city of Las Vegas or anything else that interests you and the community, like more beers. Because this is still Oktoberfest.
That's correct. Now talk about the margin tax with him.
Yeah, wow.
Las Vegas Mayor's Cup International Tournament for all you soccer fans is this weekend, Friday through Sunday, October 24th through 26th. Free admission for all spectators. Now, the tournament is going to be held all over Las Vegas and downtown Las Vegas, and is sponsored by Las Vegas and Downtown Las Vegas Soccer Club. Teams are guaranteed 3 games. Individual awards are offered. The games will be held at Betty Wilson Soccer Complex, Kellogg Zaire Sports Complex, Ed Fountain Park, Las Vegas Sports Park, and Faith Lutheran Fields. Teams of boys and girls aged 9 to 15 will compete from 5 to 9 p.m. There's a whole schedule available. Just go to their website at www.lvmayorscup.com for your schedule and more information.
You know, we're getting pretty close to that holiday that I forgot last week.
Yes, you did.
So this Saturday, October 25th, from 10 to 4 p.m., it's the Great Pumpkin Parrot Festival. And that's at the Gilcrease Nature Sanctuary at 8103 Racel Street. That's up in the Northwest, 8912131. Bring the whole family down to the Gilcrease Nature Sanctuary and enjoy a craft project sponsored by Home Depot Kids Workshop. Family, friends, activities, including story time, children's crafts, games, dancing, and lots of fun. And of course, there are going to be animals there to interact with. Plus, food, pumpkins, everything's available for purchase.
And when you're done there, you can head down to the 3rd Annual Boo Bash and International Food Festival. Also,
another food festival.
Absolutely. Saturday, October 25th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. This is going to be held at the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish, 1811 Pueblo Vista Drive, up in the Lakes area, or Desert Shores area, 89128. Come and join us for a day of fun, laughter, and treats with the whole family. It is a family fun event filled with food, live music, games, etc. Head on down there after you're done with the Great Pumpkin Parrot Festival.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, the Zombie Run, 5K Run, and Family Fun Walk, they wanted me to host that in full zombie uniform.
I don't doubt it. You wouldn't need much makeup, though.
Thanks a lot. I really like this guy. You know that. Anyway, Saturday, October 25th, 3:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Equestrian Park South. That's at 1200 Equestrian Drive. $12 and $25 admission, 5K early bird registration. Are you ready to run for your life? Lace up your sneakers and try to survive the post-apocalyptic world. Imagine that. Use your brains to outsmart dozens of hungry zombies, or take the shorter family-friendly route for those who do not care to encounter the living dead. Anyway, it's a fun time. Everybody has a great time. More information, visit cityofhenderson.com/parks or call 702-267-4050. A zombie walk?
By the way, how's those headsets working for you?
Oh, yeah, the ones that I forgot to put on yet.
Yes, I was just curious. Last one for me. No, he doesn't need them. No. Can't remember or hear anything, but that's okay. Crazy Fall Festival, Sunday, October 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. Life Springs Christian Church, 2075 East Warm Springs Road, 89119. The Crazy Fall Festival is a fun and safe environment for you and your family to come and celebrate the fall season. The festival will have trunk or treat, games and prizes of all ages, live music, karaoke, bounce houses, you name it, including a costume contest. Head on down there. It's free for everybody. And that does it for this edition of Double Secret Probation Unwrapped Secret Divisional Treasures.
Thank God.
Thank you.
But you can catch the full ensemble every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. on Vegas Unwrapped over on the sister station, Vegas On Air Radio.
There you go.
Thank you.
And also, every event we do, they're out there interviewing our guests, and which is a great treat for us.
We were even tuxedo-clad last week.
By the way, thank you for that nice shout-out.
Oh, my gosh. Canyon Gate Country Club. You guys were amazing in your tuxes. You look so handsome. We had a just so you know, we had a big date over at the Canyon Gate Country Club. And it wasn't, it was like 30,000 people. We had 150, but it was packed because that's all we could fit in there.
150,000.
Yeah. And,
you know, you could have sold 1,000 tickets.
Oh, yeah. But it was nice. We had a great team. We had 16-piece big band. My dad was leading the band.
Awesome.
And we had 5 singers. We had Peter Pavone, who's a great singer, and Michael sang and played the drums, of course. And do you know Santos Savino, another drummer here? Do you know him?
He don't know.
Anyway, well, he's like he's a jazz drummer.
The greatest.
And and you know Jimmy Molador? He's another jazz musician, yeah. And so we had Jimmy Molador, Peter Pavone, Mark Giovi, Michael Leonetti, and myself. I got to sing a couple songs.
We had a great time.
Too.
It was really
we had a lot of fun. But the boys were there, and they were interviewing everybody as they walked in the door.
The most important thing is we raised money for the Women Association.
We raised money. We've got a nonprofit organization. It's called Women and Men in Music and Arts, and we raise money for scholarships for the arts.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's music for a higher cause, the way it's supposed to be.
That's right. And I was going to ask you, what about, taking care of your body? Now, your body is your instrument, obviously. Now I'm a singer. Mm-hmm. He's a drummer. He's a singer. You're a drummer, and also a songwriter or lyricist. Yeah. And it's very important. You were saying how you made a lot of money as a lyricist, and so it's really good if you're going to be a drummer to learn another instrument. That's what you suggested, and to at least be able to write songs and stuff. But your hands, your body, your
hands,
back,
legs,
your legs, your whole body is thrown into playing drums.
The killer for me,
it's really important. So how do you take care of your body?
Yoga and Pilates.
Really, you do Pilates?
I'm swimming for exercise these days because I'm having a lot of problems with my feet from drumming, from rock drumming, because I've been playing since I was 9. So I've got plantar fasciitis in both feet. I've got osteoarthritis in both feet. I've got tarsal tunnel syndrome in my left foot. So I really have to. My back's starting to go because I'm sitting like you're sitting like this basically.
That's right,
so
the entire time.
That's why you have to do your core strength. So
right, and core strength you get from Pilates and
Pilates and yoga. Yoga's amazing.
I just started back into yoga again, and then I'm going to be doing Pilates. Right. What?
All with my body. Only the cheeks of my ass. I got on my left cheek. I have arthritis. On my right cheek, I have something else. I'm sitting on that
seat. And you mentioned.
I don't know how far you can go. I was going to jump on that one, but I don't know how far you can go in the show. What do you have? The little button?
He has a button, but it's a 7-second delay. But
too late now.
Too late now, right? But also, you mentioned something earlier about drugs. A lot of people, kids and stuff, they don't think about that. But a lot of rock stars have, they did a lot of drugs when they were kids and stuff, and when they were playing, and then they turned their lives around when they got in their 40s because they realized their body's falling apart, or they lost a lot of friends to drugs.
Exactly.
Okay, we've lost a lot of really talented musicians to drugs, and other people too. But so then they started getting into yoga, meditation, acupuncture, doing a lot of things that are for their body so that they can have longevity.
Yeah, you have to take care. If you're going to keep playing it, if you want to keep playing. Yeah. And just in life, and want to have a good quality of life, you got to take care of yourself. Otherwise, for these last years, otherwise they're going to be shit.
Yeah, right. So
7-second delay.
Pay attention when you're starting out your career, to pay attention to your body. We have a program called Fit and Fabulous. Stay fit and fabulous forever. And it's for all of us, because no matter what size, shape, color, creed, whatever we are, it's about taking care of ourselves, and so that we have longevity, so that we live a quality life, out there wherever we're at.
I take really good care of myself. I could eat a little bit better, but even really watching what, because I'm type 2 diabetic. I know it sounds.
So you have to watch that too.
But we're getting old, and it's just.
Well, you're a person.
It's what happens.
We are people. You beat musicians, performers. We are people.
We did the show. I got up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I carted loading everything up. I came back at 3:30 in the afternoon, and Sandy says, I said, where's the raffle tickets? I can't find them. I got to get in my car, go to Office Max.
We're prepping the house because we're getting ready to sell it. Well, it's on the market. Right. And so, we put a bunch of things in boxes and put them out in the garage.
So I get in the car,
so it's probably out there in the box.
Go pick them up, took a shower, put my suit on, and went right back to getting ready. The next day, Dan, I'm telling you something.
Well, yeah, because we were playing.
It's like and it reminds me when I used to box.
Like getting hit with a train.
The next day after a fight,
by a train.
At the age of 18, 19, and 20, I was hurting. My shoulder hurts and my neck was hurting. Even though I'm not getting hit, you're still doing that physical, move. And when you play like you play, you just can't sit down and play easy. You've got to put every ounce of energy.
Yeah, at 66, I'm a 66-year-old athlete, basically.
Yeah, me too.
It hurts every time. Every morning, I feel like a linebacker getting out of bed. Honestly, I have to put a heating pad on my back, heating pad on my feet.
Well, I don't go back. I have to. I got a friend of mine.
Well, he doesn't do that, but he should. See, the thing is he complains about it.
I got a friend of mine. His name is Carl Grosso.
You've got to take care of your body.
He has money, lots of money. So I go to his house and I put my feet on his money bag.
Yeah, and it feels better.
And it feels so nice.
Nice and cushy.
Well, maybe I'll come with you.
You can't open that bag, trust me.
Listen, I just got a text from Magnolia from Truffles and Bacon. She says they are doing the Life is Beautiful event this Friday afternoon, October 24th to Sunday, October 26th. So that's Truffles and Bacon. And, I got to tell you, they have some great, great dishes over there. It's not just bacon, but they do a lot of creative appetizers, desserts, and they're amazing. They're over in the Henderson Antique Mall. Also on a regular basis. But this is the Life is Beautiful event. Did you guys mention that event this weekend?
Did not.
Oh my gosh, you missed one.
Wasn't on my list.
See, I'm revealing something
It's
here.
good.
Life is Beautiful event this Friday, October 24th to Sunday, October 26th. But you didn't say where. Where is it? Downtown. John says it's downtown.
Downtown.
Okay. Thank you, Magnolia, for letting me remind that.
Down by the Container Park
And
area.
Truffles and Bacon is one of our sponsors, and they are just fabulous, these girls.
I always wanted to have sex with Petula Clark.
Me too.
For me, Danny would be Sophie Tucker.
Why.
It'd have to be Sophie Tucker. Yeah,
You got to be kidding.
He likes opulent women.
Yeah, of course you're kidding.
I'm teasing.
Is that Zoftic or opulent?
That's it. No, what's Zoftic?
What?
And no, corpulent.
Oh, corpulent.
Corpulent is a 14 sandwich eating woman.
Okay.
That's corpulent.
And
Zoftic?
Zoftic
is like Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield. They were Zoftic. They were women that... John, you're a cross-dresser. What the hell are you dressing for?
Well, what about me? What am I? What am I? Am I Zoftic or corpulent?
You're hot.
No,
You're hot. Hey, take it easy, Danny.
It's the truth. I'm Italian, you're Italian.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Well, if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy
Mikey.
Kastel and Friends for
Danny.
Variety Show with Chef Michael. And you never know what to expect here. We've got the boys here from Vegas Unwrapped, and of course we've got Danny Seraphine and a song from me. So we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Look how I'm longing to.
There's no other radio show like it. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. The phone lines are open at 702-731-1230. Now, here again, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Danny and I were just talking, and he was talking about this song that he co-wrote, and he was saying how it was a disco song, and then it ended up getting thrown on the top of the pile of the heap. Go ahead, tell him.
Well, it was a song called "A Street Player," which is it was a song that I'd written with the songwriting partner that I'd been writing with, and it was really the best thing I'd ever written. It was about myself, of course.
Of course.
But it was really good. So I said.
But everybody could relate to it.
I brought it to our producer at the time, Phil Ramone, and I said, let's cut this as a disco song. Rod Stewart had just done "Do You Think I'm Sexy," which had kind of a rock. And I thought, if he can do that, we can do this. And we made an amazing record. I mean, with Maynard Ferguson on trumpet, Airto on percussion, and Peter Cetera sang a beautiful, great vocal. James Pankow did it, and the record company made one of the first rock videos, put hundreds of thousands of dollars behind it, and then this disc jockey in Chicago organizes this disco demolition, like a backlash against disco. And our record is on the top of the pile, and I'm like, oh my God. I was rehearsing my Grammy speech. I was so far ahead of myself. I think it was the man upstairs saying, "Kung." So I get fired from Chicago.
He does that every once in a while.
Yeah, he does it. Yeah, well, when it needs to be done.
Right.
So 1990, I get fired, and I go into seclusion, for 15 years. I get a call in where I'm living in the mountains of Colorado, and this guy says, "Danny, he says with an English accent, I'm not even going to try it." So he said, a band called the Bucketheads has sampled your song.
Wow.
And it's a breakout hit, dance hit in
Europe.
And I said, "What's the name of the song?" He said, "The Bomb."
The bomb.
And I'm going, honestly, it took me a second, like, the bomb, what is it? Oh, really? Okay. And it became like the biggest dance hit of 1998.
Oh, my gosh, see?
Where's the audience, by the way?
I know. We put them under the
Are they out there? Hello? And
See?
okay, but that's not the end of the story.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
I said to it really was, it happened at a good time because things were, I don't know, things got lean because, divorce, everything hit me at once. So it was like a gift from God. I said, thank you, God. He said, Danny, that was a great song. You just needed to be put in your place. Here's a little reward, right? Okay, one more quick.
No, go ahead.
So life goes on. Another 9 years goes by, right?
Right.
2008, I get a call from the person who handles my copyrights and said, Danny, a hip-hop artist by the name of Pitbull samples your song and wants to release it. We want to send it to you for approval. I said, go ahead. It's fine. Just release it. Anyways, it's a song called "I Know You Want Me" of Kelly Ocho. It's a huge.
Oh my gosh!
It was one of the biggest hits in the world, and so.
So thank you again.
Thank you. But I look up every time I get a check, I say thank you.
Well, songwriting.
So that's why I say to the drummers, because honestly, there's drum parts that I have done that are as important as almost any part of that song, but I get no songwriting, And there's a lot of drummers.
Well, and a lot of drummers do that sampling thing where they do they'll do that. Their tracks, they'll sample them and sell them, and people can use them for their songs.
Yeah, but it's not the same as having a piece of a song.
No, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, so it's important. Write songs, write lyrics.
Yeah.
You never know how good you'll be. Yes, Michael?
I wrote a song. It was myself, Thelonious Monk, who was phenomenal. Great performer.
One of the greatest.
David Clayton Powell sing, and it was called...
Did they know they were writing the song with you?
No, I wrote it. It was called Your Lips Tell Me No, but There's Wee Wee in Your Eye. And unfortunately, it went nowhere. And it was sad. These guys put hundreds of thousands. What do we got? We got a clip. What do we got?
Your drum solo.
My drum solo? I don't want to play my drum solo.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah.
$22 years ago.
Caravan, yeah.
And after that drum solo, I had paramedics. They couldn't wake me up until they stuck a meatball sandwich under my nose, and I became very, very well.
Well, you're a fireball.
He still is, too.
I can tell.
He wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning going, Sandy, so I got this idea. Come on, let's do this. And I'm going, huh? Hello?
Sandy said, take me to a place I never went before. He took me to the kitchen. Thanks, Henny Youngman.
Danny, listen, do you have a website?
Yes, I do.
You do? You got a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your website.
www.ctatheband.com.
What?
www.cta
C Charlie T Tom A Apple
theband.com. Thank you.
Because sometimes people don't get it the first time around. Especially we just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Because it's not under Danny Seraphin.
Well, it is Danny. I think DannySeraphin.com brings you to somewhere.
It brings you somewhere too.
It brings you there.
You bought that too.
It all brings you to the same place.
We got to buy as many of those as we can to send everybody to the same place, right?
Yeah. Yep, we do.
Well, Ricky Cash they also have a website.
Yes, they do.
VegasUnwrapped.net.
VegasUnwrapped.net, and you also have the thing for be a fan of Ricky Cash.
Oh yeah, the Ricky Cash fan club.
Ricky Cash fan club. That's right. Everybody can sign up for what?
Yeah, that's for giving back to the community with different charities, projects. Places like WEMA.
That's right.
Of course, when we get Sandy and Mike to join, then perhaps we'll be able to give them the contribution.
And if anybody wants to go to my website, it's www.mafia. The Mothers and Fathers Italian Association.
Yeah.
I had you, didn't I, Dan?
Yeah, just for a second.
I don't know. You had me when in the hallway. hallway there.
Yeah. Hey, Danny, I'm looking forward to tonight at the Smith Center. You're going to be with the Pop Evolution with David Perico. And the 20-piece orchestra tonight at the Smith Center. Danny Serafin.
Go, everybody.
And, of course, here on Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael with the Vegas Unwrapped team. Thank you so much, Danny, for being here with us today. Thank you to Tom Mazzetta for setting all this up. We love you, Tom. And we will be back tomorrow morning for Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show here on KLAV. And we thank all our staff here at Lotus Broadcasting and KLAV. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Yo, Danny, bon de salud.
Where's the audience? Where's the audience?
Bon de salud. Ach, I am. Mach Leben zum Simon Glick.